Hi, folks. So I'm discussing the mass shooting that happened at a Christian school in Minnesota, Minneapolis. So it turns out that the shooter is a trans-identifying individual, a so-called trans woman who had a manifesto that is very disturbing, which included statements like "fuck Trump," "kill Trump," and things like that, and a hatred of Christians and conservatives. Um, but what is even more disturbing is that this is now a second shooting in the United States where a trans-identifying individual killed Christians. And with that said, the Democrats, liberals, they want us not to focus on the fact that this individual was trans and that they were killing Christians. I can even take it as far as the Democrat mayor of Minneapolis made a statement of saying, "Stop villainizing our trans community." That is what he said. The mayor seemingly believes that after this horrific event that happened, when a trans person who hated Christians kills Christians, the trans person is a victim in this situation. Is that how it works? Or in other Democrats and other liberals, they just rather we don't talk about the fact that this person was a trans who hated Christians. And looking at their manifesto, the reason why they targeted this school was because of their hatred of Christians. They are downplaying it. Some of them are even denying it, that it plays any factor. The only thing that they're interested in, of course, is confiscating your guns. Suppose for a second that there is a horrific incident, a shooting, that happens in a gay bar. Say it happens in a gay bar in Houston, Texas. And then we find that the shooter is a straight, wild male who is a conservative Christian. And furthermore, we find that they have a manifesto that shows that they really hate gays. How long do you think it would take before that story is receiving wall-to-wall coverage? Suppose even further that you have a white male Christian who shoots a gay bar in, say, LA, and there is no evidence that the reason why they did it is because they hated gays. How long would it take before the liberals and the Democrats stated that the reason why this person did this is because they hate gays? How long do you think it will take? This is what we are dealing with in the West right now. We even have a situation of that Orlando gay bar shooting that happened in 2016, where we know that the shooter who shot and killed 49 people and wounding 53 people in a gay bar in Orlando in the great state of Florida had no idea that this was a gay bar. Had no idea. The shooter walked into a random venue, had no idea that this is a venue where gays are, which means that that shooting had nothing to do with the LGBTQ, whatever community. It was purely coincidental. But to this very day, we are being told that there was a hate crime being directed towards the LGBTQ community. This is what we are dealing with. They know this. This has even been reported by leftist news organizations like NBC, that evidence shows that the gunman chose the bar at random. And then we even have some other reports where BBC reportings where they are trying to find some hidden homophobia was the reason why this person shot up a gay bar, even though this person didn't know that this was a gay bar. And it turns out that that Florida shooting in Orlando, this was just a foreigner who is in the United States of America who just hated America for what America has been doing in his nation. You don't need to convince me about all the evils that America is committing in foreign nations. That's a story for another day. So this is to say that I understand the rationality of, especially from Muslim countries, but we can discuss the modality. Obviously, no one is justified to kill people, innocent people, because the government is doing evil things abroad, which the U.S. government is. I'm just saying that I understand that rationality, but I'm saying that the rationality of hating the United States, not of killing innocent people. They know what the reason is. But to this very day, you still have celebrities, whether they're in the US or they're in Europe, still repeating this lie that that shooting in Orlando, Florida in 2016 was a hate crime directed to the LGBTQ community. And what is worse, also, apart from the fact that we know that this person killed those kids in this Christian school because they hated Christians, there is another event that happened last year in Wisconsin where another so-called trans person shot up a Christian community, a Christian school. So now we have now repeated events of trans identifying individuals killing Christians because they hate Christians. And the media is not interested in covering this. The media is not interested in saying anything about this. At what stage will the left admit that the ideology that you are brewing of hatred towards conservatives, towards evangelical Christians, towards white straight people, towards white straight people who are Christian, is resulting in violence towards people? At what stage are you going to admit that your ideology is fomenting hate? While you are saying that you are fighting hate, it looks like it's actually you who foments hate. And I've witnessed all kinds of protest action in the United States, and none has been as violent and as vile and as hateful as protests that get organized by the extreme, unhinged people of the left. It is incredible. It is incredible. Sometimes it is as if that these people are under some sort of mind control. and some sort of hateful frenzy. I've never seen anything like this. And at what stage is the left going to say that your ideology as the left foments hate, incites violence? That you are not trying to help people navigate differences that they have with their fellow Americans, but instead you are telling them that people who disagree with them, hate them, are evil people, they are Nazis, they are fascists, they need to be stopped at all cost. And what other way of being at all cost other than to kill people? Folks, this is very concerning. This is very concerning. Let me know what are your thoughts are on the comments below. Cheers.